So, what are the different types of buyers, like different personas maybe, and how do you account for them while figuring out your pricing strategy and also the journey? Like, especially, I'm assuming that there's a very price sensitive buyer persona across industries, across, everything. So, how do you appeal to them?
Yeah. So rather than talking about buying personas, I would rather talk about like decision-making strategies because that's really the essence of behavioral economics. What is the strategy that our customers apply when he approaches a specific decision? And the strategy that he applies is very much depending on his experience. And so, for example, if we think of the price sensitive buyer, you're probably referring to a bargain hunter. A bargain hunter is a bargain hunter not necessarily because it's a personality trait of him or her, it's because he has learned or made the experience that there's always a good deal to make. Or in the B2B context, he might be forced to look at getting a better deal because he's incentivized by the rebate that he gets. So the bargain hunter would be one decision-making strategy or a buyer persona, how you called it, who is looking for the transactional value. So he wants to get the feeling that he's kind of getting the better deal than others. So he negotiates something. And one typical mistake to deal with a bargain hunter is to give a discount too easily because the bargain hunter wants to feel like a winner in the negotiation. So you must make it really hard for him to get. So not give the discount too early, but say, okay, I don't really know, and let me talk with my manager, and maybe we can do something, but only for you and only this time. So make it really hard and painful to get that discount. That would be a strategy for the bargain hunter. There's another rather price sensitive type, which we call the risk avoider. The risk avoider is someone who's reacting to what I said before, no one ever got fined for IBM. So the risk avoider is also looking at the price, but more from like a defensive perspective. So he doesn't want to make a good deal. He wants to be sure that he doesn't make a wrong decision. So something that would appeal to the bargain hunter, a rebate, might make the risk avoider even more cautious or skeptical because he says, okay, if they can give me a rebate, probably they were more expensive in the beginning and they were ripping me off all the time before I got the discount. So the biggest mistake for the risk avoider is to take the question that the risk avoider might pose, namely, can you explain the price to me, and misunderstand that question as he wants a discount because he just really wants to understand the price. So you need to explain it to him and make it clear, but you don't have to give a discount very early. So that's one common mistake, talking about the price too early by misunderstanding that some customers, the risk avoiders, they ask for the price, but not because they want a cheaper price. They really want to understand it. So you need to be transparent here. Another strategy or decision type is price acceptors. Price acceptors are customers who have learned that the more you pay, the more you get. So that's a situation where you have kind of trained as a vendor the customer that you only get what you need if you pay more. So classical Apple example, Apple has done a really good job shifting the mobile phone market from bargain hunters to price acceptors because they really trained the customers in a way that they understand, okay, if I want more, then I need to pay more. So price acceptors are typically also very demanding in how they talk. In B2B settings, it's very typically the project manager or the technical decider. They want to have someone who is a sparring partner for them. So as a salesperson, you need to understand the technical details and convince the customer because the price acceptor doesn't just accept price. You need to convince him of the value of the product. So that's a strategy to deal with the price accept. A fourth strategy is the routine buyer. The routine buyer is someone who says, I don't really care too much about the product. I made good experience with a given vendor, and as long as anything works and I don't experience any great disappointments, it's fine for me. So they say, okay, I always buy with this vendor. It worked out very well in the past. And if they send me a proposal, I buy it. It will be fine. I'm not willing to look into all the details, compare the prices. So it's more like convenience, giving him the feeling that it's the best choice. It's convenience. It doesn't take him too much time. So if you have a loyal customer base, you typically have a high share of routine buyers. And then the last type is the indifferent buyer. He's someone who is not really interested in either in price nor in product or technical details. typically it's a strategy that is driven out of an urgent need. So I don't know if you, when we think about after sales, if there's a part broken and it just needed to be fixed, I don't do a lot of research. I don't compare prices too much. I just go where I get the solution as quickly as possible without looking at price or product. So driven by an urgent need, we can, or people can become indifferent buyers. So I think so that's kind of 5 prototypical decision strategies which we find in B2B very often, and it's very consistent. But it's also worthwhile mentioning that not every human is the same decision maker in every industry, because a professional buyer might be a bargain hunter in his profession, but when he buys a smartphone, he's a price acceptor. So it's really hybrid, because it's not a typology of people or personality, it's a typology of decision-making strategies and decision-making situations.